Jackson Radio Show.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Kevin Jackson here, author of Race Pimping. You can get my book at racepimping.com. It applies to lots of stuff, so check it out. I want to talk about, we talk about this topic a lot, but this time it's got a different spin on it, and that's the beauty of what we talk about. It's cyclical, but there's always something different, a nuance, a tweak here or there, because that's what happens with liberalism. They like to keep stats. You know this. They keep stats on you. They keep watch on you. That's why Barack Obama bugged your phones, and Facebook wants to own your phone and all your technology, and essentially you sell your soul to the devil. They want to know what you're about. They like the data. They like to be able to measure you and find out what your sauce is. There was a show out. I forget the name of the show. It was a movie, and this thing was it was an orb, and it could sense your fears and it could read your thoughts. And whatever your fear was, that's what it fixated on in working with you. It would scare the bejesus out of you. You said, I'm really afraid of, lions or whatever. Then you would dream of lions. It would put a lion in your room. It would do things to try, to make you go crazy. I think it was called Sphere. I think the movie was Sphere. And I think that's what the left does. They want to know they want to know all this data about you. It's like these people that, what's her name, Leah Remini or something. She's doing this thing on Scientology, because the Scientologists, what I've heard about them, you have to go in and you cleanse yourself by telling them all your dirty, dark, nasty, right? And then they go, okay, you should feel good about it, but they record it. And so you're like, one time I touched a neighbor's daughter, whatever. And you're thinking, you were, 7 years old or whatever. And you're thinking they are recording this so they can use it against you. And that's why I see leftism. They want to use things against you, as opposed to helping you understand what your issue might have been at the time, or telling you that, you whatever you've done, you can be forgiven. And it isn't necessarily for man to forgive. And I'll be honest with you, I don't forgive pedophiles. I just don't. I understand they have a problem, but it's tough for me to do that because I believe in children so much. I love kids. Couldn't imagine if somebody tried to, bugger one of my boys when they were youngsters, or even now. There's no end to what I would have done to this person, right? So, but other than that, if you go, Kevin, I use drugs, or, I used to, if you were a woman and you go, yeah, I was pretty promiscuous. Honestly, whatever, I don't care. And it isn't that I don't care about the behavior. I get it. But I'm not going to moralize why you did what you did, because that's for you to figure out. And you're to be embraced by telling someone about yourself. Telling somebody truth about yourself should endear you to them. Am I right? Psychologists, that's what they say. The reason why you pick your mate is because, forget looks and all that. I can practically tell you who you're going to marry. If you say to me, I have 3 girls I'm attracted to, the only question I'll ask you is, which one of them knows you best? Because that's going to be your wife. I'd say to women, you got 3 guys you like, which one of them knows you best? That's probably who you'll marry. We want to be known. There's this thing. It's the reason why serial killers keep these little trinkets, because they, believe it or not, they want to remember this, and it's a memory thing, and they want to tell people. I remember watching this stupid show Dexter, and the biggest thing that Dexter, the problem he had, because he would kill bad guys, so you almost liked the guy. But the problem Dexter had was he couldn't share what he was doing with anybody. You want to be known. Good, bad, or indifferent. You want to be able to say to somebody, yeah, this one time I dated this ugly girl. And here's why. And without judgment, like, who? What? You dated Amy Schumer? Oh my God. Or you tell your buddy your secret shame is you think Amy Schumer's cute. I get it. It would be tough not to revolt on a gentleman like that, but I wouldn't. I would accept his peccadillo. So, we want to be known. But for government, they don't want to know you. They know you through your data. That's it. And it's never going to help you. And when it is glaringly bad, you know what they do? They spin it. So I'll give you an example. 500 murders in Chicago in 2017, and it's reported as good news. Because that's how leftists have to spin that. 500 people lost their lives. It finally hit the mystical, magical number of 500. No other city in the United States has reached 500 this year or will. Chicago has. Second year in a row. 735 murders last year. They're slightly below that mark for this year. And I'll get to the numbers here in a second. And they spin it as, hey, we reached 500 later than we did last year. Congratulations to us. Yeah, weekend violence across Chicago pushed 500 homicides in 2017, an infamous milestone that comes as Mayor Rahm Emanuel announces nearly 100 new police officers are going to be hitting the streets. Yay! 100 new police officers. Look at Chicago. Look at the size of that city, the amount of distance they have to cover. Now, they'll say, oh, Kevin, we're going to put them mostly in South and East Side. Okay. Look at that. Look at how busy that is. I'm not telling you you don't need more cops, but isn't it antithetical to be putting more cops? I'll get to that in a second. Last year, the city reached the grim mark 14 days earlier. During the Labor Day weekend, this is according to data from the Chicago Sun-Times, there's been nearly a 7% drop in homicides from this time last year, according to the data. Yippee! There's your new Chamber of Commerce slogan. And maybe there are others. We'll think of them along the way. On this date last year, there had been 534 homicides so far in 2016, a year in which Chicago recorded 762 homicides. I thought it was 735. I saw a different report. An average of 2 murders per day. The most killings in the city in 2 decades and more than New York and Los Angeles combined. Did you hear what I said? More than 2 of the largest cities. Both of those cities are larger than Chicago. And the number of murders in Chicago is lower than both of them combined. I want to repeat that because I like saying combined. And the left, well, it's 7% down. Look at that. Look at how great we are. Only 500 people have been killed. We're 14 days off of the last year's schedule. Oh, we should congratulate ourselves. When I give you the numbers, it's going to be shocking to you how bad the city is and how could it possibly be overlooked. And even with the scrutiny of Spike Lee, one of the most outspoken black-centric racists on the planet, they can get nothing to happen differently in Chicago.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.